Good evening, everyone. This is Robert. RJL Network presents another exciting edition of Baseball Like It Ought to Be. Super Advanced Stratomatic Baseball featuring the 1986 New York Mets. I don't know how many games I'm going to do for the Mets and Stratomatic, but we'll see how far we can go here. Maybe like one game every other day or something like that. I don't know. And we'll stick with Stratomatic. And of course, I'm just doing this in a way because, like I said, one of my guys did the cards and everything like that. So I figured that I would go ahead and continue doing a little bit more Stratomatic, Super Advanced. And of course, I'm still learning the game and such. So even though I have played it before years ago, so it's more of a refresher than anything. I've decided to dump the game tower. There's not enough space, and my inside pitch board really isn't designed for these cards. So I have decided to go to the Stratomatic board in a way here, and make it so I'm still working on the setup for playing Stratomatic. So we'll utilize the Stratomatic board. So I will not be using a dice tower. So I will be rolling on the board since I really don't have any space for these cards on this kind of thing. It looks like my desk is completely set up perfectly for inside pitch, but not for Stratomatic. So I guess I'll continue working on the setup, throughout the time. And we'll see what happens. This, of course, is just a 86 Mets replay, I guess, utilizing Stratomatic, Super Advanced. This, of course, replaces the 1986 season if that ever shows up for a replay for inside pitch in the future. Of course, everyone's waiting for 1972, but we are still a ways away from that for inside pitch. So I always said I wanted to get lots of other stuff on the board if possible. And so I thought I'd do that tonight. So we're going to play Game 2 of the 1986 Mets season. They were at Veterans Stadium for a series against the Philadelphia Phillies. They were only able to play one game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. The rest were rained out. So they didn't play. April 8th was their first opening day game. They didn't play again until April 11th. So in 1986. So, they didn't play again April 11th. And this was a night game at Veterans Stadium. So, we'll see how things go here as we try to, play some more Strat Advanced, Super Advanced, I should say. So, good to see people here. Chuck Reynolds, Philip Reynolds, and Sports Time Machine, and Utah Mike. Thank you guys for joining us. Remember, this is just I'm doing Mets games. This is not a season replay, so of course I'm not going to use my normal announcing voice that I usually use for inside pitch, as this is what's called consider an off-season little project. Who knows if I'll ever get done with it, but we'll utilize Stratomatic for this. And hopefully one day, maybe 1986 gets used in inside pitch. But of course, that wouldn't be a Mets season. That would be a full MLB season. So, all right, enough talk. I think I've set up the charts pretty well here. Mets playing the Phillies. Starting pitcher for the Phillies in this game was Kevin Gross. He was 12-12, a 4.02 ERA, 154 strikeouts, 94 walks. This game was a night game, so let's find out what kind of we're using Super Advanced weather effects. This is a night game in April here, so we get a 4. So that is going to be good weather in Philadelphia. So a single to left is going to be on a ballpark single is 1-11, single to right 1-17. Ballpark home runs are 1-10 both ways. Philadelphia, however, you cannot rob a home run at that stadium at all, according to the Super Advanced chart, because Philadelphia has asterisks on both sides. So there will not be any robbing of any home runs at Veterans Stadium, aka nothing like playing on turf covered concrete. Veterans Stadium pretty much ruined a lot of careers. The Mets historically won this game 9-7, so it was a bit of a high scoring matchup. And let's see what happens tonight. So let's play. Let's go to the top of the first. So Kevin Gross on the mound. Leading off for the Mets is Lenny Dykstra. He's in center field. So Lenny Dykstra does get the call to start off with. And let's see if I can get this game a little faster than the last one. The last one took almost 2 hours. So we can expect 16 innings. You and those extra innings there, Philip. I'm about ready to block dragging you just for mentioning it. All right, Kevin Gross against Lenny Dykstra. Let's see how this game goes. That is a 3-5, and against a righty, and it's a ground ball to first. Taken care of there by Vaughn Hayes. He'll make the play for out number 1. Switch hitter Wally Backman is up. He is at second base for this game. And that is a 5-10. And Backman's a switch. And that is a catcher's X card. So I go to these very flimsy, super advanced stuff. Jeez. I'm gonna have to get these laminated or something. So let's see. So we go to the catcher's X card. Catcher is Dalton. He is a 313. And that is a 20, which should be good. 313 is a grounder 2, is a G2. So that's going to be, and that is an 8. He is a 13, and that 8 is going to be just fine. So that's going to be a nice play for Dalton, and he will get it. And he will throw to first for the out, 2 down. Here comes Keith Hernandez, who should be in the Hall of Fame. 2-7 against the righty. That's going to be a single, I think. Let me see here. He is a righty. 2-7. That's a single. So Hernandez will get a single. Gets a base hit. Keep the inning going. G3, G2. I messed up my scorecard already. Keep on forgetting what's up. Base hit for Hernandez. Here comes the kid who had a big 3-run home run in the game against the Pirates. So let's see here. Hernandez is not stealing, and he is not being held. 2-10, and that is a now 2-10 has a ballpark single. That's a 5, and that is going to be a ballpark single, I believe. Philadelphia. Carter's a righty, and Philadelphia, and that is a 1-17 is a ballpark single. That's a 5, and that is going to be a single for Gary Carter. That will be a ballpark single, and I believe that is what? That is a single. What is that? A single 2-star or automatic single 1-star? Is that a single 1-star or a single 2-star? I keep on forgetting on that. Let's see. Ballpark singles. Well, 20. It's a single 1-star. Okay, so single 1-star for Gary Carter. So Hernandez will go to second. Carter to first. Hitting everything all over the place. I'm going to have to move crap over, I guess. Not much space here for Stratomatic. My desk is perfect for inside pitch. It's lousy for SOM. That'll be a base hit for Carter. And now here comes Straw. Nobody moving. 2 outs here, top of the first, no score. And that is a 4-4. And against the righty, that is going to be a, what's that, 4-4? Oh, it's against the lefty, 4-4. And that's a ground ball, third base X. So that ball was hit to Michael Jack Schmidt. And his range is a 1. He is a 1-8-7. I'm pretty sure it's going to be just fine. So 1, 7. So 7. That's a G1 and a 8. And he is what? He is an 8. And he will make the play with no problem. So Michael Jack Schmidt has it. He gets it. And he's going to throw to second to get Carter. And that will end the inning. So no runs and 2 hits for the Mets. And we will go to the bottom of the first. Jeremy Brooks joins us. Good to see you there, Jeremy. Just a little Stratomatic. Starting pitcher for the Mets tonight was Ron Darling. Ron Darling, 15 wins, 6 losses, a 2.81 ERA, 184 strikeouts, and 81 walks. So he's known for walking batters. So we go to the bottom of the first inning. Starting leading off for the Phillies is Gary Redus. He is in left field, 247 average, 11 homers, and 33 RBIs in 86. So Darling with the pitch. Yeah, it's going to be like that, isn't it? 1-5, and Darling is a righty, and that is an 11. And a 1-5 is going to be a leadoff double for Redus. So Redus is going to get a double off of Darling to start off the inning. Next batter is the center fielder, Milt Thompson. 251 average, 6 homers, and 23 RBIs in 86. Just had a 16-inning inside pitch games. What is it with you guys and extra innings, guys? Really, what is it? What is it with you guys in extra innings? Really? What is it? Let's see here. So Redus on at second, and I don't think he'll try to steal. I'll hold him at second base. So I'm not going to try to have him steal third. So let's see. So Darling will pitch to Thompson, and that is a 6-6. And that is going against the lefty. That is a fly ball center field B. So fly ball center field B. And let's see what we have here. Fly ball center field B. That's going to be a fly out to center. And the B, which I'm surprised that the super advanced chart doesn't list that. So fly out. I'm surprised the charts here don't have it, which is kind of weird. So fly center field B. And what is that? I think he stays, or does he get a chance? We'll see. Fly ball, no advancement. Thank you very much. That's what I thought. So 1 out. I've already dropped the chart here. Stratomatic. Multi-million-dollar corporation. And you can't cardboard these or laminate them. Really. All right. So Thompson is out. And that will bring up Juan Samuel. He is in second base for the game. 266 average, 16 homers, 78 RBIs. Redus will stay where he is. 2-5. And against a righty, that is a ground ball shortstop A+. Redus was not being ground ball shortstop A+. So let's see here. So runner on second, batter out, runner. Oh, wait a minute. Runner on second, ground ball shortstop A+6. And hit the first base or second base, batter out, runner advances 1 base. Otherwise, runner holds. So that's out number 2. I have this thing here on one of my holders here to make it a little bit easier for me to get right to it for the ground balls. So 2 outs. Of course, if it was inside pitch, you'd have a chance to get to third. All right. So 2 away. Here comes Michael Jack Schmidt. Plus only affects with infield end. Yeah, I knew that. So Schmidt, 290 average, 37 homers, and 119 RBIs. As we were approaching the later years of Michael Jack Schmidt, he was still putting runs on the board. They sell a card stock version. I wish I knew how there, Dan Douglas. I can't find it. I may have to order a card stock version. So let's see. So 2 outs, bottom of the first, no score. And that is a 2-8. And against the righty, that's going to be a walk. See, he walks Schmidt. And now the batter is Glenn Wilson, and he is in right field. Glenn Wilson, 271 average, 15 homers, and 84 RBIs. Good year for him. The Philadelphia Phillies in 1986, they were the only team that the Mets had a losing record against. They were 8-10 against the Phillies in 1986. Every other team they had a winning record against. They owned the Pirates, 17-1 against the Pirates. The Phillies were the only team they had a losing record against in the National League in 1986. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Let's see if Darling can get himself out of this mess. And that is a 1-3. And let's see, 1-3 against the righty. And let's see, 1-3 against the righty. And that is a ballpark single check. But that is a 19, and that's going to be an out. It's a 1-17 for a righty. That's a 19, and that is going to be a line out. That's going to be a line out to the shortstop, and the inning is going to be over. So because of the ballpark effect, a 1-3 because of the ballpark effect, Glenn Wilson lines out. That's a line out to short, and the inning is over. So no runs a hit for the Phillies and a walk. And after 1, there is no score. Yeah, just Strat game board laminated. Yeah, I'm thinking about, I don't know if they have a cover version, I really would like to get one. So, all right, let's go to the top of inning number 2. Gross back on the mound. Leading off for the Mets in this game is Danny Heap. He is in left field, 282 average, 5 homers, 33 RBIs. Danny Heap was a very serviceable player for the Mets in 1986. Very serviceable. He always seemed to come through. So top of the second here, no score. Mets Phillies here at the vet. Let's see what we got here. Gross back on the mound. 2-12, and against a righty, that is a 4, and that's going to be a line out to second base. Line out to second, 1 down. As in super advanced baseball, you avoid the small. You avoid. In super advanced, you ignore the triangle. And there's 1 out. Here's Howard Johnson. He made a couple of errors in the game against the Pirates. Howard Johnson, of course, is at third, and he's horrible at that position. 6-11, and against the switch, he is a switch hitter, so 6-11, and that is a ground ball, second base A. And ground ball to second, out number 2. I finally found out what the underlined things mean on these things. So when you look at the cards, you see like this A here has an underline on it. This is designed for playing against teams that are not contemporary. So if you're playing 1986 and you're going against a team from like 1927 or something like that, and you get a ground ball A, you're supposed to switch that to a ground ball C, and vice versa. If it's a ground ball C, you switch that to a ground ball A. That's what I found out what the underlying meanings. I had to look for it, but I did find it. So don't have to worry about that playing in the 1986 season. Here is Rafael Santana. He, of course, is at short. 1-11 against the righty. That is a foul out to first base. Getting under that will be Hayes. And that is a 1-2-3 inning for Kevin Gross. Bottom of the second. Leading off for the Phillies, first baseman Von Hayes. This guy, Von Hayes, Von Hayes reminds me a lot of George Oughta and Chet Lemon. One of the more underrated players in baseball. 305 average, 19 homers, 98 RBIs. Von Hayes was very, very good. I might even put him in the Hall of the Very Good. I think that's where he belongs. So Von Hayes is at first, goes against Darling. And that is a 4-8. And against the lefty, and 4-8. And that is a 9. And that's going to be a leadoff single for Von Hayes. So once again, Darling here. Just getting himself in trouble early here. They don't offer the card stock. Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't see one, but that's okay there, Dan Douglas. Thanks for letting me know. So Hayes on at first. He'll bring up the catcher, Darren Daulton. 225 average, 8 homers, 21 RBIs in 1986. Darren Daulton, of course, he would get his championship with the Marlins in 1997. So Daulton is the player. Hayes got a good chance to steal. 2-7 or 12. How many stolen bases did he have? He had 24. That's good enough for me to try. His hold rating's a 0. So does he get the? Does he get the jump? Yes, he does. That's a jump. So 1-15 he is being held. So 1-15 -1 for being held. 1-14. Carter has a 0 arm. 1-14. So let me just make sure. Just make sure that it's right. And 1-14. So I think it's a 1. So I think it's a 1-14 for him. So 1-14 is being held. Is it -2 for being held or -1 for being held? I thought it said. I think it said minus. I thought it was minus. What was it? I thought it was -1 for being held. Let me just make sure here. My stealing thing here is that. And let's see here. So the second base. The Vietnamese hold them runner. So the first -2 from the first steal success rating and -4 from the second. Okay. I got to get a chart. I got to create a Stratomatic chart to make it easy. Right, he got the jump, so -2. So he would be a 1-13. So a 1-13, Hayes will steal second. He does. So Von Hayes does get the steal. So he steals second base, stolen base for Von Hayes. Carter has a 0 arm. All right, so he is now at second base. That takes away the double play. RGL gives himself homework while playing game. Exactly. So Hayes on at second, so Daulton will bat with a runner on second base. Bottom of the second inning. 4-5. And against the lefty, that is a strikeout. So Darling gets a K on Daulton. First strikeout of the game for Ron Darling. Steve Jeltz. He is at shortstop, 219 average, no homers, 36 RBIs in 86. So Hayes on at second. He'll stay at second. No, won't go anywhere here. Darling with the pitch. And that is a 2-8. And against the righty, that's a walk. So Jeltz actually gets a walk. So once again, Darling in trouble. And that'll bring up the pitcher. Kevin Gross uses pitcher's hitting card number 3. And with runners at first and second, his bunt rating is a A, actually. Gross is a very good bunter. I think I'll lay down the bunt. So Gross is going to lay down the bunt. His bunt rating is an A. So the corners will be in, looking for the bunt here. So runners at first and second. And he's going to go ahead and he will bunt. So I got to get the bunt chart ready. So let's see. Where's the bunt chart? Sacrifice bunt chart right in front of me. All right. Okay. So we roll 3 dice. Single die determines the fielder. Okay. So just don't roll the D20. All right. So we roll for the bunt. Actually roll to see if there's anything on it. And what I have not been rolling is a havoc. And nothing happening there. All right, so runners at first and second, and Gross will lay down the bunt, and that is a 2-10. That is it. Well, I just need to roll an 8, I guess. I guess it don't matter. Well, a 2, and that is hit to the pitcher. So his bunt rating will actually go down to a B, and that is an 8. And that's a sacrifice. So good sacrifice by Gross. We'll move the runners over, and there are 2 outs on the sacrifice hit. Sacrifice hit to the pitcher. And now the batter is Reedus with runners at second and third. Darling trying to get out of the jam. Havoc roll, nothing. So let's see if Darling can get out of this. And that is a 6-4. And against a righty, that is a ground ball, third base X, not where I want it hit to, because that's hit right to friggin' Johnson. So that is a ground ball, third base X. And Howard Johnson is lousy at that position. I didn't believe it was that bad, but I guess he was. So ground ball, third base X. Johnson, he made 2 errors in the game against the Pirates. Let's see if he does well here. He is a 450. And that is a 9. And that is a G3. And that's a G3. The infield was back. So G3, and that is so he is a 50. And that is a 11. And yes, he will make an error. That's a 50. That's an 11. And he will make an error. That is a G3. That will be an error. Error batter to first. Runners advance 1 base. So Howard Johnson makes another wonderful error, which will allow Hayes to score. Reedus to first. It's 1-0 Phillies on an error. Third error on Howard Johnson. And we're already only in game 2 of the season. So that is an E5. And it's 1-0 Phillies. So every time a ground ball is hit the third base, I'm going to cringe when Johnson is there. Did he really stink that bad in the field? I don't remember Howard Johnson being that bad. Timeout. Let me look at, I know his actual ratings, but was he really that bad in 1986? How many, what was his, let me take a look here. Howard Johnson. Well, his fielding percentage was .904. He made 20 errors at that position. Made 20 errors at the position. His range was a 3.32. Yeah, his fielding percentage was .904. So every time a ball is hit to him, there's a 10% chance he's going to make an error. All right, maybe SOM got it right. I don't know what the inside pitch rating for him is, but I guess it works there. All right, so very well. So it's an error, and it's 1-0 Phillies. So here comes Thompson. Thompson 0 for 1. Roll a havoc. That's a 14. Reedus is not going to try to steal with 2 outs, although he's actually a very good chance to do it. Yeah, he's got a 19. You know what? We'll see if he tries to steal. Tries to steal. A 4-6, he gets the jump, and he does. He does get the jump. So a 1-19, and he is being held. So 1-19, so -2 is a 17, and Strawberry and Carter's a 0 arm. So 1-17, he'll steal second, and he will. So Reedus will steal a stolen base. 2 stolen bases for the Phillies already. Reroll havoc, nothing. And we will roll against for Thompson. So 1-0 Phillies on an error. And that is a 2-9. And against a righty, that is going to be, that's right in Tom's, that's a single 2-star. So Jeltz will come in to score. Reedus will come in to score. Thompson goes to first. And it's 3-0 Phillies. So Thompson gets a 2-star single against Ron Darling. 3-0 Phillies. I always knew Stratomatic wasn't realistic. Always knew it wasn't. Here's Samuel. That was inside pitch. He would have been out. Mets would be leading if it was inside pitch. All right, so here's Samuel. 0 for 1 on the Havoc. Nothing. Thompson's going to stay put. Actually, Thompson's got good speed. He had 19 stolen bases. 2 to 5, he's going to try. 2 to 5, see if he gets the jump. No, and he'll stay put. He doesn't get the jump. So Darling will go ahead against Samuel. And that is a 4-5. And against the righty, it's a fly out to left, and that'll end the inning. 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 error on the Mets, and 2 stolen bases and a walk. Phillies have a 3-0 lead after 2. How am I doing so far? Top of the 3rd. And it will be the pitcher leading off, Ron Darling. He has pitcher's hitting card number 1. He couldn't hit his way out of the paper bag, apparently. 5-2. And Darling is a righty, and that is a 5-2. Oh, ballpark single. And that's going to be an 8, and that's going to be a ballpark single. He's going to get a hit. Again, Darling hits from the right side, a 1-17. The weather is good in Philadelphia, so that's going to be a base hit for Ron Darling. Ballpark single, he'll get that. John Haverly joins us here. So a ballpark single by Ron Darling puts a runner on base. Here comes Dykstra. And Darling, of course, is not going to do anything. He's going to stay right there. He's going to put on his jacket. Usually Met pitchers put on their jackets when they were on. They usually actually always do. All pitchers usually always put on their jackets when they were on the bases. There's Dykstra, 0 for 1. I'll still roll a Havoc. Nothing happening. So let's see what happens here. 4-2, and against a lefty, 4-2, and forget the triangle. That is a 6, and that's going to be a single for Lenny Dykstra. It's going to be a 1-base single for Dykstra. So Dykstra gets a base hit. Now we got runners at first and second. As Dykstra gets his first hit of the game. Here comes Backman. Still nobody out. Top of the 3rd. Havoc. Nothing. So Gross will go ahead and pitch to Backman here. Runners first and second. A ballpark single by Ron Darling. And now Dykstra sends him over for 1. And that is a 6-6 against a switch left. And that is going to be a fly out to center field. Nobody will advance. So out number 1. Fly ball center field B. No one advances. Here's Hernandez. It should be in the Hall of Fame. And I'm always going to say that every time it comes up the bat. 3-0 Phillies, top of the 3rd. Bad error by Howard Johnson as usual. So let's see. Havoc. Roll the Havoc here. Nothing happening. So Gross will pitch. And that is a 4-9. And a 4-9 against the lefty. And that is a 4. 4-9 against the lefty. That's going to be a double 2-star. That's going to be a double 2-star for Keith Hernandez. So that will bring in Darling. He will score. Dykstra goes to 3rd. Hernandez goes to 2nd. And it's 3-1. Still 1 out. Here comes the kid. So runner scores for the Mets. So Hernandez has a single and a double in the ball game. Carter's 1-for-1. He had that big bomb in the game against the Pirates. Infield is going to play. Infield's going to play in. Nothing on the Havoc. So let's see what happens here. So Gross will go up against Carter. And that is a 6-9 against a righty. 6-9. And that is a 14. And that's going to be a 2-base single for Gary Carter. And the Mets tie it right up. Always knew Stratomatic was pretty accurate. Got to admit, got to hand it. I always knew Stratomatic actually was pretty accurate when it comes to his ratings and such. Always knew it was pretty accurate. We're tied at 3. Triple. Traces across the board as Carter gets a 2 RBI single. And we're tied at 3 here. And here comes the straw. Always knew Stratomatic was pretty accurate. Not as accurate as inside pitch, though. Strawberry's 0-for-1. 1 out still in the top of the 3rd, but now we're tied at 3. You feel Carter slided the Mets going as an expo. No, that wasn't Carter's decision. That wasn't Carter's decision. Carter wanted to go in as a Met. Cooperstown put him in as an expo. That was not Carter's decision. He wanted to have a Mets cap going in. He did not want to go in as an expo cap. That was Cooperstown's decision, not Carter's. That's why Carter has an expo. Why? And again, I like to go to Cooperstown. Why would you put him in as a defunct baseball team? If you want to put him as an expo, in that case, put a W on his cap for the Nationals, because that's what they wear now. He wanted to go in as a Met, not an expo. He did not. At that time, he did not have a choice. Now you do. So here's the Strawberry. Runners on first. Carter's not going to go anywhere, and he is not going to be held. They're not going to hold him. So let's see what happens. Got to roll a Havoc here. Nothing on the 3. A 1 or a 2, something happens. So Gross with the pitch. And that is a 5-7 against the lefty. 5-7 struck him out. Typical at bat for Strawberry, striking out. And now here comes Heap. Heap is 0-for-1. Havoc. That is a 2. I guess it's a possible wild pitch. I think, right? If it's a 2, it's a possible wild pitch. Kevin Gross's wild pitch rating is a 1. He won't get it. So, no wild pitch. So they will try again here. So 2 outs, Danny Heap at bat. And that is a balker pass ball on a 2. Oh, okay. Well, that was a balk. His rating was a 1, so it wouldn't have mattered. But thank you, Clee baseball fan. 6-6 against the lefty, and that's a fly out to center field. That'll end the inning. The Mets tie it up. 3 runs on 4 hits. And the Mets tie this ball game up 3-3. This was a high-scoring game. Historically, it was 9-7 in favor of the Mets. So, you're not a fan of the Havoc die. Well, we got strategy rolls for inside pitch, too. So, all right. Bottom of the 3rd, Darling, who has yet to have a decent inning. Here comes Michael Jack Schmidt, greatest 3rd baseman in baseball history. Schmidt walked his first time up. And that is a 3-3. And against a righty, that is a ballpark single. And that is a 12. Schmidt's a righty, and that's going to be a ballpark single. That'll be a base hit. So once again, Darling cannot get the first batter out. Single for Schmidt. 3rd straight time the leadoff batter has gotten off for the Phillies. Here's Wilson. Wilson is 0-for-1. And nothing on Havoc. So Schmidt on at first. He is not being held. The stealing rating's an E. He's not going anywhere. So Darling will pitch to Wilson. And 2-8 against the righty is a ground ball to shortstop A. That is a double play. So 6-4-3 double play. 2 outs. And here comes Vaughn Hayes. Hayes got a base hit his first time up and stole a base and scored. So 2 outs. Yeah, Bobby Oughta came in. Bobby Oughta took over for Darling in the ball game. So here's Hayes and 3-8. And that is against a righty. That is a ground ball to first base save. That'll be handled by Hernandez. And he'll take it himself and retire the side. No runs and a hit. Tied at 3 after 3 as Darling finally gets a decent inning. So top of the 4th. By the way, for all you guys there in my chat, how about them Dolphins? Tough game against the Las Vegas Raiders. It was tougher than some people thought it was. I'm not surprised the game went that way. 3 turnovers. Dolphins still pull it out. You come out of the bye week a little flat sometimes. They look good. They were fine. They got the win. That was most important. I don't care if you win by 1 or by 50, as they did earlier this year. The Dolphins, now they go to the Jets for Black Friday football, which is frigging ridiculous. I love my Dolphins. I love football. I hate the NFL. All right, so top of the 4th inning, who leads off? It is Hojo. Johnson will lead off. He is 0 for 1. How about them Cowboys? Well, Larry, Cowboys, I think they're still a tough team to beat, but they still got a couple of tough opponents coming up still. Plus they come down here to Miami to play the Dolphins. That could be a huge game. So here's Johnson, and that is a 1-4, and that's a ground ball against the righty. Ground ball, second base, C. Round out second, 1 down. Here's Santana. Santana is 0 for 1. Yeah, I know. In-season hard knocks, which I'm not happy about. 6-7. And against the righty, that is going to be 6-7. Ground ball, second base, X. So that's hit to Samuel. And he is a 329. He's a 329. And that is a 3. Ooh, that's gonna be that's a single. That's an S1. 329. That's gonna be a base hit, and that is a 8. And let's see, what is he now? He's a 29, 8, and that's fine. So that's a base hit. That's a single, just out of Samuel's range, and Santana gets himself a base hit. Failed range play. That'll bring up the pitcher, Darling. His bunt rating is A. He'll go ahead and bunt. Corners will come in expecting the bunt. So still 1 out here. And Darling's going to go ahead and bunt. We'll do our havoc first. Nothing there. So get the bunt chart. Get the bunt chart here. And we will roll. 5-8. That 5, that is hit to the first baseman, and he is in. So his bunt rating becomes a B. But that's an SAC. That's going to be a sacrifice anyway. So he hits to the first baseman. Kevin Gross comes over, makes the play, 2 down, and moves Santana over to second. So sacrifice hit to first. And now that gives Dykstra a chance to get him over. John Wise joins us here. Lions down 12, yeah. Bills bounce back against the Jets. The Jets are just horrible. That team is bad. Miami should better go to New York and just take care of business on Black Friday. Friday at 3 o'clock. I'm working. I'm going to miss. I'll put the game on my phone, but that's ridiculous. Why do you put a game on Black Friday when people are working? Havoc roll, nothing happening. So Gross will go up against Dykstra. Dykstra's 1 for 2. Got a base hit his last time up. And that is a 6-7. And a 6-7 against the lefty is going to be a ground ball, second base X again. Ground ball, second base X. So once again, it's hit to Juan Samuel. Yeah, it's called stealing the college football audience. Yeah, I figured that. So it's a ground ball, second base X. Once again to Samuel. That is a 13. And that's going to be a G2. And he was a 29. And that is an 11. So 29, 11. That's an error. That's going to be an E1. He's going to make an error. 29. That is an E1. A single and that is a G2. And that is error, batter to first, runners advance one base. So Samuel makes an error at second base, allowing Dykstra to reach runners in the corners now with 2 outs. So that is an E4. And that's the first error on the Phillies. So now here comes Backman. So Backman is 0 for 2. Mets trying to take a lead here in the top of the 4th, tied at 3. So Havoc, nothing happening. So Gross will pitch to Backman. Backman trying to get the Mets ahead here. And that is a 5-7. A 5-7 against the switch left. They struck him out in the inning, and that will strike him out, and that will end the inning. So no runs, 1 hit. There was an error. So both teams now have 1 error. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Mungo Jerry joins us. A little Stratomatic, guys. Little Stratomatic Super Advanced. Since I'm in my inside pitch off season, I thought I would go ahead and put some stuff out there for you other guys to watch. Remember when I did this season Out of the Park? Yes, I did do this season and Out of the Park. And didn't win, and the Mets did not win the World Series in 1986. Yes, that is correct, Mungo Jerry. Very good. Yes, you do remember when I did that. I did that, 7, 8 years? I think 2015 or 2016, I think I did that. And the Mets didn't win crap. That's why I got rid of, that's why I don't deal with gamey AIs anymore. I still say his game sometimes cheats. Although he got mad at me for saying that one time. Darren Dalton will lead off for the Phils. That's why I prefer now cards and dice. The dice can't cheat. You can't cheat. It only runs by the game engine. Yeah, he's got a great memory. Yeah, he does. He remembered I did that. I know it was like 7 or 8 years ago for Out of the Park. He's 100% correct. If I'm correct, I think the Astros won that. I don't see Steeler fan in the chat, but I would let him know that when I did that 1986 season, it was the Astros that won that World Series. Block Dragon, John Wise. Up, Chuck. Boo. Chuck Rawlings gives John Wise the Block Dragon. 6-6 against the lefty. That's a fly out to center field. And he finally, Ron Darling gets the leadoff batter out. Here's Jeltz. Jeltz walked his first time up. You were Skyballer. You were Skyballer on 455. Oh, gee. I know exactly who you are. Yes, Skyballer. Absolutely. I still pick up Out of the Park every single year. I just don't post anything anymore. But I still support Marcus Heinsohn. I pick it up every year, and I play offline. That's all. I just play some career stuff offline. That's all. But yes, I still purchase it every single year. Here's Jeltz, and that is a 211. And 211 against a righty is that's a clutch symbol, but that's ignored since there's nobody on base. That's a single to left field. Jeltz gets a single to left. So he gets on base. It'll bring up Gross, and he will bunt. Bunt rating is an A. And nothing on the Havoc. And Jeltz is not going to try to steal. So he will go ahead and bring out the bunt. And Corner's in, expecting the bunt. And that is a 6-6. And that is the third baseman. That is a 6. And 6-6. His bunt rating goes to a B. He was in. The corners were in. So his bunt rating was an A, so it goes to a B. And 6-6 defense. The fielder at the single die roll is used for a reading of defense. Batter drops down a bunt. The defense has the option of throwing the batter out at first or trying to throw the lead runner out. The batter is then automatically safe. Compute the lead runner's safe range as running speed -4 plus fielder's defensive rating. Jeltz's running rating 1 to 15. We'll just take the out at first. Jeltz can go to second, 2 down. Simple. So he'll throw to first and get the out. So that's one thing. So tracker defense, the option of throwing the batter out at first. Scored as a sacrifice. It is. So Jeltz will move to second. That's a sacrifice at the third. Taken care of there by Johnson. And there are now 2 outs. So here comes Ritas with the go-ahead run at second base. Bottom of the fourth here. Tied at 3. Mets and Phillies. This game was played on April 11th, 1986. So nothing on Havoc. So here comes the pitch, and it is a 2-7. And against a righty, that is against a right 2-7. And that is a 15. 2-7 against the righty. That's a line out to second base, and the inning is over. So no runs and a hit for the Phils. Still tied at 3 after 4. Top of the 5th. Yeah, because I just had a problem with gamey AIs there in Mungo, Jerry. I had a problem with gamey AIs. There was no way the Mets should have lost that series, should have won that World Series. And then I played that 2016 season where I took the best players in the entire league to put them on my Mets. It was an alternate real-time season. I took all the best players, all the best pitchers, and that team got beaten by the Minnesota Twins. And there was a 95% chance that team should have won the World Series and didn't. And boy, did I complain. When you play the games out, not simulate, but when you play the games out, I still say, and you're managing a team, not when you have the computer playing both. When you're managing a team, I feel the game cheats. Sorry, Marcus Heinsohn, if you're watching, but I still say the game cheats. Here's Hernandez. He's 2 for 2. Got a single and a double. Start top of the 5th. And that is a 6-9. And against the lefty, that is a 4. And that's a base hit. That's a base hit. So Hernandez is cooking. He's 3 for 3. He's 3 for 3. Gets a single. Now the batter is the kid. Carter's 2 for 2. He's got 2 base hits. Keep on knocking everything over. As I said, got to work on my Stratomatic setup. Don't know how many games I'll play in this offseason before I start Inside Pitch 1972. Havoc, nothing happening. So let's see. So Hernandez is not stealing anywhere. He is not being held. So Darling will pitch. Not Darling. I had the wrong pitcher up, did I? Gross. Wow, I didn't even know that. I said single, and that's actually a 6-9. That's actually a double. My bad. That should have been Gross up there, not Darling. That's a double. Because Kevin Gross, a 6-9 against the lefties, a 1-4 triple, a 5-20 double, and that will be a double instead. All right, so it's a double. Like I said, got a lot to work on. So Carter, we'll go ahead. We'll re-roll that. Nothing happening on Havoc. So Gross, 3-2. And against a righty, and that is a 19, and that is going to be a line out to the shortstop. That's a line out to short. And I guess Hernandez gets back, one down. Here's the Straw. Straw's 0 for 2. Havoc, nothing happening. Gross with the pitch. That is a 6-7. And a 6-7 against the lefty. And that is a ground ball, second base X. So that is hit again to Samuel. And once again, he is an E. He is a 329. 11, 329. And that is a G2 and an 8. So 29 and 8. That's going to be good. So that is a G2. And that is a ground ball to set. That is going into the right. So batter hit the first ball, hit the first or second. Batter is out, runner advances. So Hernandez will go to third because that was hit to second base. They're now 2 outs as Darryl Strawberry grounds out. And now the batter is Heap. So Murr moves over. Batter second. Heap is 0 for 2. This was a Sports Channel broadcast, okay? And that is a 20, nothing happening. So Gross will pitch to Heap. Mets trying to take the lead here. And that is a 5-6. And 5-6 against the lefty is a walk. So he walks Heap. And that'll bring up Johnson. And that's the first walk issued by Kevin Gross. Johnson's 0 for 2. Nothing on the Havoc, and Heap is not going anywhere. He will not be held. So runners at first and third, 2 outs. Top of the 5th, tied at 3. See what happens. And that is a 2-4. And a 2-4 against a righty, and that's a walk. So Johnson draws the base on balls. So now bases are loaded for Santana. And he'll bat. Nothing on Havoc. So bases loaded. Kevin Gross in a jam here. 2 men down, tied at 3, top of the 5th, Mets and Phillies. This game was played April 11th at night. .610. And against a righty, that is going to be a fly ball to left field. Getting under that will be Gary Reedus. They'll make the catch in the inning. No runs, 1 hit, a couple of walks. And the Mets, again, cannot get any runs in. Darling back on the mound, bottom of the 5th. Leading off for the Phils was Milt Thompson. He is 1 for 2, got a base hit his last time up. 2-5, and against a righty, 2-5 is a single base hit for Thompson. And once again, Darling having problems getting a leadoff batter. That is the 4th leadoff batter to reach base in 5 innings. Here's Samuel. Thompson's got a good chance to steal. Roll a Havoc. Nothing happening. Thompson will try to get the lead. And he does not. No pickoff or anything like that. So now it becomes a 13. He'll stay put. So Thompson stays at first. Darling will pitch to Samuel. And that is a 2-7. And 2-7 against a righty. That is a 2. And that is going to be a single 1-star for Samuel. He'll get a base hit. So Thompson to second. Samuel to first. Runners at first and second. No one out. Here comes MJS. He got a base hit his last time up. He's 1 for 1 with a walk and a base hit. Anything on the Havoc? Nope. Thompson will stay put. So runners at first and second here, tied at 3. Bottom of the 5th inning now. Darling again in a jam. And that is a 5-12. And against a righty, and that is a ground ball to first base X, but that's hit to Hernandez. So ground ball to first base X. Hernandez is a 1-6. That is a 5, and that is going to be that's a ground ball. That's a G1, and he was a 6. That's a 6-11. That's good all day. So that's a G1. So runners at first and second, double play, 5-4. So the ball is hit to the catcher, the third baseman. The result is a third base. Otherwise, refer to double play. See, double play 5-4, but that's first base. So G1, what's it? G1. Let's just look here. G1, first and second, double play 5-4. The ball is hit to the catcher, the third baseman. The result is a third base, the second base double play. Batter is safe. Otherwise, refer to double play 4-3. And double play 4-3. Batter is out. Runner first. Other runners advance on base. That's a double play. So Thompson goes to third. Schmidt and Samuel are out. And they're 2 away as he hits into a 3-6-3. So here's Wilson. Wilson is 0 for 2, so Darling now trying to get out of this jam. Nothing on Havoc. 2 outs. 2-5. And against a righty, that is against a righty, 2-5. That's a ground ball right back to the pitcher. Come back to Darling. He's got it. They'll toss it over to first. And he gets out of the jam. No runs on 2 hits. And we stay tied at 3. And Darling has yet to retire the side in order. And we're going to the top of the 6th. Leading off for the Mets is Darling. He's the pitcher. And his is a 7. I'm going to let him bat. This is 1980s baseball, not 2023. So I'm going to let him bat here. 4-3. And again, and he is a righty. 4-3 is a ground ball to the pitcher X. Okay. Ground ball to pitcher. So Kevin Gross, he is a 2 with an E12. He is a 2 with an E12 to the pitcher. So he is a 2 E12. That's an 8. And that's a ground out. Does he make an error? 5 + 7 is 12. And Gross is a 12. So 12. 7 + 5. Yes, he does make an error. 12-12. That is going to be an error. Kevin Gross, E12. 5, 9 + 3 is 12. And that is going to be an error. Wow. So Darling gets on base for the second time. He got on base by a hit. Now he gets on by an error. That's an E1. So Darling is safe. And that is the second error on the Phillies in the ball game. Is it me or is there just too many errors in this game? I don't know. Then again, the Phillies weren't that great either in 1986. So here's Dykstra. And Brandon Baker joins us here. You're going to see a lot more super advanced baseball there, Brandon, as I'll try to see how many Mets games I can get in for 1986. Havoc roll, nothing happening. And Darling not being held. He's got his jacket on. He's not going anywhere. 5-5. And against the lefty, that is a strikeout. And he is not, his fatigue inning is the 7th. He is not fatigued. He gets him, struck him out. And what is that? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. That's a third strikeout for Gross. So here's Backman. Pitcher errors happen a lot. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So Havoc, nothing happening. Backman is 0 for 3, looking for a hit. 5-7. And 5-7 against the switch left is a strikeout. He gets him. Buckman is a switch hitter against the lefty, and 5-7 is a K. So that is strikeout number 4 for Kevin Gross. 2 down. Here comes Hernandez. Hernandez is yet to be retired. He's 3 for 3, 2 doubles and a single. Nothing happening on Havoc. So Hernandez, God dang it, I'm so jumpy. All right. So let's try this again. And that is a 6-8. And a 6-8 against the lefty is a swing and a miss. Struck him out. And the inning is over. So Kevin Gross strikes out the side. No runs, no hits. There was an error, but the Mets can't do anything with it. As Gross goes ahead and gets it done. Bottom of the 6th. And here's Von Hayes. And Von Hayes is 1 for 2. Has a single in the game. 2-10. And against the righty, that is a fly ball to left field. That'll be handled by Danny Heap. Fly out to left. 1 away. Here's Dalton. Dalton is 0 for 2. 5-7. And a 5-7 against the lefty is a ground ball to second base X. That's hit the Backman. He's a 330. He's a 330. And that is a 5-12, which is a ground ball, and a 36. That'll be a good play. So Backman will go ahead and get that. He won't make an error. He will throw to first for out number 2. Here's Jeltz. And Jeltz is 1 for 1, a single and a walk. And that is a 6-6. And against the switch left, a 6-6 is a fly out to center field. Going after that will be Dykstra, and he'll make the play. And for the first time in this ball game, Ron Darling goes 1-2-3. Tied at 3 still after 6. We go to the 7th. Kevin Gross, this is his 7th inning. This will probably be his last inning. He is due to bat first in the bottom of the 7th. And here comes the kid, Gary Carter. Carter 2 for 3. He's got 2 singles. Carter a 5-9 against the righty. And that is a 4. 5-9 against the righty. And that's going to be put right into the wheelhouse. And against the righty, that is a 4. That's put right in the wheelhouse. And Gary Carter says, wow, it was my birthday in game 1. It must be Christmas right now in game 2. Kaboom! That ball is pretty high. That ball is pretty deep. And that ball is pretty gone. Home run kid Gary Carter. And he gets his 2nd home run of the season in as many games. A 5-9 against the righty, end power. Of course, Gary Carter does have normal power, obviously. And he goes ahead and he sends that kaboom. And it's 4-3 Mets. Section 518 cheers. Yay! Stadium groans. So here comes the straw. Straw is 0 for 3. Gross will pitch 3-8. And against a righty, 3-8 is a strikeout. Look at all these hits here, and he gets the strikeout instead. Struck him out, but then again, Strawberry did strike out a lot. He always did. Here's Heap. Heap is 0 for 2 with a walk. Heap, let's see, 6-2 against the lefty. That is a 6-3, I'm sorry. That is a fly ball to right field X. So that is going to Glenn Wilson. He was excellent out there. His range is a 1. The zero rating is a 4. She should have, you pretty much should have no problem with this. That's a 15. He makes that. And it's, what is he, a 4? And that is a 14. So 4-14. He's got it. 2 outs. Nice play by Glenn Wilson. A fly out to right. And now Howard Johnson. Johnson 0 for 2 with a walk. 3-9. And against the righty, 3-9. And let's see here. Against the righty, 3-9. And that's going to be also hit pretty well. That's going to be hit pretty high. That's going to be hit pretty deep. That is a 12. And that is hit pretty gone. Kaboom! That is a solo bomb by Howard Johnson. And he makes up for the error. Stadium groans. Section 518 cheers. Yay! So Howard Johnson goes ahead and goes yard. It's now 5-3. And Kevin Gross, I forget when the fatigue result takes effect. So when does the fatigue result take effect? He is in the fatigue inning, so let me go check that real fast. I don't know if he's fatigued yet, but he might just be. So much easier an inside pitch, but let's see here. He just gave up 2 hits. And let's see. Sacrifice squeeze. Where is the fatigue result? Pitcher endurance. P3 10.2. Let's see here. That's pitcher endurance. Basic, advanced, super advanced, 27. Okay. At least of anything. So super advanced pitcher. Let's see here. Pitcher who doesn't have it loses stuff. A starter gives up 5 runs in any one inning, 6 runs in any 2 consecutive innings. Okay. Super advanced. Use the advanced POW system, but add these features. So 3 hits, walks in the fatigue inning. Thank you. All right. So he hasn't received. That was only his second hit. It'll bring up Santana. Santana's 1 for 3. He's coming out of the game anyway. He's due to lead off the 7th. And that is a 5-6. And against the righty, that's going to be a fly out to center field. Easily handled there by Milt Thompson. And he'll make the catch and retire the side. 2 runs on 2 hits. A solo bomb by Gary Carter. And a solo bomb by Howard Johnson. And we're at the 7th inning stretch. I'm going to go take a quick drink and be right back. Sing, take me out to the ball game. Why not? All right, bottom of the 7th inning, Mets lead 5-3. Ron Darling due to lead off the 8th. This is his fatigue inning, and he is going to pitch. But the Mets are ready to go to the bullpen. Gross coming out. He will come out of the game. And coming on to bat for the Phillies is going to be Greg Gross. So one Gross leaves, but one Gross comes in. So Greg Gross will pinch hit. Let's see, 248 average, no homers, and 8 RBIs. So Greg Gross will come in to pinch hit. And we'll see if Darling can get through this inning. 1-8 against a righty, and that is a ground ball to short. Easily handled there by Santana. And 1 out. As far as pitcher fatigue goes, this game, the Mets played the games against the Pirates on the 8th. This game was played on the 11th, so I'm pretty sure every pitcher is fresh. So here's Reedus. Reedus is 1 for 3, doubled, reached on an error, scored, and got a stolen base. Darling against Reedus. And that is a 5-8 against the righty, and that's a fly out to right. Handled easily there by Strawberry. 2 outs. And now Milt Thompson. Thompson 2 for 3. He's got 2 singles. 6-6 against the lefty, and that is a fly ball to center field. And Dykstra is going to get to that. Nice job for Darling to end his night. A 1-2-3 inning. 5-3 after 7. As Darling gets a very nice job finishing his outing. As we will go to the top of the 8th. And that'll be it for Darling. He is done. So let's see. So what's coming on to pitch for the Phils? Let's see. The Mets have a pinch hitter, a lefty, and a switch. And let's see. I think they're going to bring in a lefty. Do they have a lefty on the board? Let's find out. They do. And let's see who they want to bring in here. Coming on to pitch for the Phillies is going to be Don Carmen. Don Carmen, 10 wins, 5 losses, a 3.22 ERA. He had 1 save, but he uses a starter, but can relieve, and he will relieve here. So Don Carmen's going to come on to pitch. And we'll see a pinch hitter for the Mets as Darling's day is done. And they will go with a righty, and that's going to be Ray Knight. So Ray Knight will come on to pinch hit against Carmen. Ray Knight, 298 average, 11 homers, and 76 RBIs. And, of course, he was the World Series MVP in 1986. So Don Carmen against Knight, top of the 8th inning. And that is a 2-7. And 2-7 against the lefty is a base hit. That's a single. So choosing Ray Knight was the right move. And Ray Knight will get a leadoff hit. So the pitcher spot is now 2 for 4. Batter now is Dykstra. He'll bat. Doesn't hit lefties as well as righties, but Dykstra will bat here. So Knight on at first, not really a threat to steal, and nothing happening anyway on the Havoc. So Knight will stay put, but he will be held. I think they would still hold him. Dykstra, though, a very good bunter. Dykstra, a very good bunter. I wonder if you bunt Knight over. Dykstra, a very good bunter. Does not hit lefties very well, but a very good bunter. I wonder if you bunt. I think you do. I'm going to lay down the bunt with Dykstra. So I'm going to lay the bunt down, and I don't know if the corners are going to be in. David Vega joins us. So I don't know if they're going to be expecting a bunt or not. So his bunt rating is an A, but I'm going to go ahead and lay the bunt here. I'm going to lay the bunt. So let's do a bunt. Sick and tired of dropping everything. I'll probably be done with this game if I didn't drop everything. All right, so we're going to lay down the bunt, sacrifice bunt. So, what am I doing here? A 5-6, and that's going to be a defense check. So that's it to first base. That's a defense check. Batter drops down a bunt. The defense has the option of throwing the batter out at first. We're trying to throw the lead runner out. Well, Ray Knight does not have good speed. His running rating's a 1-8. They're going to try to get the lead runner here. So compute the lead runner's safe range as running speed -4 plus fielder's defensive rating. So Ray Knight is a 1-8. The fielder's defensive rating, that was hit to first. That's Hayes. Hayes' defensive rating is a 3. So running speed -4, so that would be a 1-4, plus the fielder's defensive rating. And Von Hayes' rating is a 3, so that would be a 1-7. So that would be a 1-7. So he's going to throw to second to try to get Knight. And Knight beats it out. Wow, Knight gets there. 1-7. Knight, he throws to second base, but Knight gets there. A 1-7, he would have been safe. And he rolled a 5. Knight gets there. Dykstra's safe. I think I did that right. So the lead runner's safe range was a 1-8. So I think I did that right. Did I, Sports Time Machine? So 1-8 was his running rating. It was hit to first base. Von Hayes' defensive rating is a 3. So you subtract 4. So 1-8 -4 is a 4, plus the fielder's defensive rating. So you add 3, which makes that a 7. So 1-7, and I roll a 5. He's safe because you add the defensive. So you add the defensive rating. So he's safe. So they try to get Knight out, and that's going to be an infield hit. So runners at first and second, and nobody out. That'll go as an infield single. I think I did that right. So now here's Backman. And Backman, he is not good against lefties too. We are in the 8th inning. Backman is going to... Ooh. Do I want him to bat here against Carmen, or do I want to bring in Tuffle? Tuffle's better against lefties. He's not great, though, at second base, though, but not much better. I'm going to let Backman swing. I'm not going to bring in Tuffle yet. I'm going to let Backman swing. So nobody out. Runners at first and second. Maybe Backman can get a hit. Havoc roll. Nothing happening. So Knight on at second. Dykes on at first. Nobody out. Top of the 8th inning. 5-3 Mets. 1986. And here comes the pitch. And that is a 6-9. And Backman hitting from the right side, a 6-9. Let's see. So he's a switch. He'll hit from the right side. 6-9. And that's a 5. And yep, looks like keeping Backman in was the right thing. 1-8. That is a double 2-star. Backman comes through. Knight will come in to score. Dykstra goes to third. Backman to second. It's 6-3 Mets. Stadium groans. So runners at second and third, and bringing in Backman was the right thing to do. And it's now a 6-3 ball game here. And now here's Hernandez. Still nobody out in the top of the 8th. Hernandez having a great night. 3 for 4, 2 doubles, and a single. I always knew Stratomatic was pretty accurate. See anything on the Havoc? The infield's going to come in, and that is a 1. Oh, okay. So 1 is a wild. Ooh, that's a 1, and that's a wild pitch opportunity, right? So a 1 to 10. Carmen throws this one to the backstop. No. So what was that? Let me see here. Let me see. I'm trying to remember here. So a 1. What'd you get here? So a 1 was a wild pitch, and a 2 was a balk. Or was that a? Well, it was too high anyway, so it didn't matter. All right. So runners at second and third, and that is a 5-7 against the lefty, and that is a ground ball second base X. Now the infield is in. The infield is in. Ground ball second base X. The infield is in, though. Ground ball second base X. So that's it to Samuel. His range is a 3 and E29. So let's see what he does here. So the infield is in. And that is a 13. That is a 3. Let's see. So the infield is in. So there's a 3 and a 13. And that's a G2. He's going to make the play. And Samuel's E rating of 29. And that is a 9. And that is going to be good. So no play there. So that is a G2 with the infield in. Runners at second and third. Infield in. Lead runner is out. So Lenny Dykstra thrown out. And batter is safe. So lead Dykstra is thrown out at the plate. Hernandez, I guess, makes first. I guess Backman doesn't go to third. So lead runner. So that's 1 out. I think I did that right. One is wild pitch, check 2, either balk or pass ball, reroll 1. I'll get it. You're right there, Brandon. Probably. That goes as a ground ball 2. That is a G4. So that actually goes as a fielder's choice. So Hernandez is safe at first on the fielder's choice. But I guess Backman stays where he is. So batter is safe, lead runner is out. It doesn't say anything about runners, other runner advances. So batter is safe, lead runner out. So I guess Backman stayed at second base. So, okay. So I guess he stays put. So 1 out, runners at first and second. Now the batter is Carter. Carter hit a bomb his last time up. He's 3 for 4, a home run and 2 singles. Carmen's still pitching here. Or will he? You got a righty, you got 2 lefties coming up. Carmen's going to pitch to Carter here. So 1 out, 6-3 Mets now. Havoc, nothing on 16. 3-10. And against the lefty, that is a pop out to the shorts. No, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. No, wait a minute. 3-10 against the lefty. That's a pop out to the shortstop, but there is that clutch symbol, but there's only 1 out. That clutch symbol is only 1 out, so I don't think that takes effect there, does it? If it's a clutch. I think that only works. I think it's got to be 2 outs, right? He has the clutch symbol. So, dang it. As I said, I gotta make a chart. I have got to make a chart. got to make a chart. Clutch hitting. Let's see. Ignore the symbol and accept the original result unless there are 2 out with at least 1 runner at second or third base. But when this so there is only 1 out, so that's not a clutch situation. There had to be 2 outs, so that's going to be a pop out to short. All right. So 2 away. And now the batter is Strawberry. Clutch gives him both 2 outs, and a man is at least on second base. Thank you, my good man. So here's Strawberry. He's 0 for 4, due for a hit. 6-3 Mets, top of the 8th. Carmen comes in here and not really that effective. Havoc roll. Nothing happening. Carmen will pitch to the straw. 111. And against the lefty, and that is a 19, and that is a line out to second base, and that will end the inning. So Straw's had a rough game. 1 run on 3 hits for the Mets. They have a 6-3 lead going in the bottom of the 8th. Samuel, Schmidt, and Wilson coming up for the Phillies. Samuel will lead off. And the Mets will go to setup. And that, of course, is going to be Roger McDowell. So Roger McDowell coming out to pitch. So Darling leaves with the win chance, Gross with the loss chance. So here comes Roger McDowell to pitch the 8th. He'll go up against Samuel, Schmidt, and Wilson. Samuel is 1 for 3, got a single. 2-4, and against a righty, and let's see, 2-4 against a righty, and that's a ballpark single. That's a 9, and that is going to be a ballpark single. Against a righty, 1-17, good average. A single. That's going to be a ballpark single for Samuel. He does get the base hit. So Samuel gets a leadoff hit, and he'll head to first. Here's MJS. Schmidt is 1 for 2, single, grounded, double play, and walked. Samuel, very good steal rating, but down 3 runs, I don't think you're stealing. So they're not going to send him here. So McDowell will pitch to Schmidt. Nothing on Havoc. So McDowell will pitch, and that is a 1-8. And against a righty, that's a walk. So Roger McDowell comes in here, and maybe too much rest. And now the tying run coming to the plate. And here comes Wilson. So Havoc, nothing on happening. So McDowell will pitch to Wilson here. Runners at first and second, nobody out, bottom of the 8th. 6-3 Mets, but here come the Phillies. 5-5, and against a righty, that is a ground ball, third base B. That's a ground ball, third base B. So ground ball, third base B, runners at first and second. That is a 4. Batter safe, runner at first, out going to second. Other runners advance. So it's a fielder's choice. So Samuel goes to third. Schmidt is out, and Wilson safe at first, and there is 1 out. So fielder's choice. And now the batter is Vaughn Hayes. He will bat. So 1 out there as McDowell gets a big out. Glenn Wilson not stealing. And he is, I really don't think he'd be held. Stealing rating a D. I don't think they'd hold him. McDowell with the pitch. 3-4. 3-4 against a righty is a strikeout. That is a big K. Big K. 3-4 against a righty is a strikeout. 2 down. Gets out the very dangerous Hayes. And now Dalton And Dalton is 0 for 3. Nothing on Havoc. McDowell 1 out away from getting out of a little jam here in the bottom of the 8th. (5-9). And against the lefty, that is going to be a fly ball to left field. Getting under that will be Danny Heap. He will make the catch, and the Mets get out of it. No runs, a hit, and a walk. And it stays 6-3 after 8. As McDowell he did bend, but he did not break. We go to the top of the 9th. And they got Heap, Johnson, and Santana coming up. Heap will bat. And Carmen can pitch another inning of relief if he wants. And they'll let Carmen pitch to Heap. And Heap is going to bat. Who doesn't do well against lefties, but Heap will bat. So top of the 9th inning, 6-3. Carmen will pitch to Heap. Heap will bat. Heap's got good. Heap's not a bad. May see some. We'll see what happens. Do I want to? No, I'll let him bat. So Carmen with the pitch. That is a 6-6, and that's a fly out to center. That's out number 1. Here's Johnson. Johnson hit a home run his last time up. He's 1 for 3 with a bomb. Carmen will pitch to him. And that is a 5-3. And that's a fly ball, right field X, since Johnson's hitting from the right side. So fly ball, right field X. That's hit to Wilson. He's very good. He's very good. Wilson is a 1-4. That's a 2. He'll make the play. And Wilson is a 4-12. And he'll make the catch, 2 down. So fly out to right as Wilson makes the play. And now Santana. And Santana will go up against Carmen. Carmen will pitch. 2 outs, top of the 9th. And that is a 4-8. And that's going to be a single for Rafael Santana. 4-8 against the righty. 3-20. That's a 3. Just missed the triple, but Santana will be more than happy taking a base hit. So Santana gets a hit. See a pinch hitter for Roger McDowell. He'll come out as Orozco's going to come in to finish the game off, but we will see a pinch hitter. And we are in the 9th inning, so coming on to pinch hit is going to be George Foster. Foster does a little better against righties. George Foster going to pinch hit against Carmen. The $10 million bum. But I like him against Carmen here. And Carmen's going to pitch to him. So Santana on at first, 2 outs. Nothing on Havoc, and Santana not doing a thing. So Carmen will go ahead and pitch to Foster. 1-5. And against the lefty, that is a swing and a miss, and struck him out. And the inning is over. So no runs and a hit for the Mets. They're holding on to a 6-3 lead here as we go to the bottom of the 9th. It'll be Jeltz, a pinch hitter, and Reedus for the Phillies. Steve Jeltz may see a pinch hitter for him. Mets, of course, are going to bring in the closer, and that, of course, is Orozco. Orozco will come in to close. Jesse Orozco coming in to get the save. But Dowell does get a hold. So Jeltz will come in to... Now, Jeltz, He is shortstop. Do I have any other shortstops for the Phillies in the bench? And I don't think so. Jeltz is the only shortstop in the lineup in this game. Yes, he is. So that means he has to bat. So Jeltz will lead off. So Jeltz will lead off against Orozco. He's a switch hitter anyway. So we'll see what happens. So bottom of the ninth, 6-3, RJL 518, hoping for no ninth inning magic. And that is a 2-8. And against the lefty, that is a walk. So Jeltz draws a walk to start the inning. And now a pinch hitter coming in for Carmen. And the Phillies will send up let's see. They're going to send up Rick Really Big Shoe. Rick Really Big Shoe will come on to pinch hit against Orozco. Nobody out. Bottom of the ninth inning. Orozco already gives up a walk. Jelt's really not a threat. We'll hold him on anyway. That's a 7. He's not going anywhere, but they will hold him. So 6-3. Orozco with the pitch. 1-6. And against the lefty is a pop out to the shortstop, and that's out number 1. So Really Big Shoe pops out to short. 1 down. Now the batter is Reedus. Reedus is 1 for 4, double, reached on an error, stole a base, and scored. Mike Terranova and Scooney 007 joining us late. Thank you, sir, at Veterans Stadium. Rolling a havoc, nothing happening. Bottom of the ninth inning, 6-3 Mets, 1 out. Orozco trying to close the deal. And that is a 4-10. And against a righty, 4-10, ouch. That's going to be a ballpark single. That's an 8. And Reedus, that against a righty, 1-17, that's going to be a single, 1 star. So Jeltz is going to get the first, get the second. And Reedus is on base with a ballpark single. So now the tying run coming to the plate in Milt Thompson. As Orozco gives up a big-time ballpark single here. 1986, Scooney. The only season there is. 1986. So runners at first and second, 1 out, and Orozco here having some difficulty here in the bottom of the ninth inning, 6-3. Thompson 2 for 4. Nothing on havoc. Orozco trying to get out of this jam. 2-3. And against the lefty, and that is going to be a walk, and the bases are loaded. 2-3 against the lefty is a walk, and the bases are loaded for Juan Samuel. Still 1 out here. Samuel 2 for 4 with 2 singles, and they're going to play the infield normal. The runners at second and third don't mean anything. The runner at first does. That is a 1. So let me check here. So it's a 1. There's a wild pitch check. 2, either balk or pass ball. Jesse Orozco is a wild pitch rating of 5. He will not throw a wild one. So, all right. So no wild pitch. So now here comes the pitch to Samuel. 5-7, and that is against a righty. That is going to be a fly ball to right field B. That is a fly ball to right field B. Geez, I don't know why they didn't put the flyouts on the thing here too. So fly out to right field. That's going to be out number 2. And a fly out to right on a B. Does that mean the runner scores? Fly out to right field B. I don't know why you create this, but you don't put the fly outs on there. Don't forget +2 if it's a fly out right field B question mark. It's not a B question mark. It's just a fly out to right B. So it's not a fly out 1.0. So I guess I need the main chart, right? So automatic score on third. So he scores. Okay. So it's a sacrifice fly automatically. So Jeltz will come in to score, and it's 6-4. And my problem is I don't have that other main chart. I didn't think I would need it, but it looks like I am really, really wrong. So I guess I still need this, even though it's basic, right? So batter's out, runner on third scores, and the runner's hold. Okay. I don't know why they didn't put that in the book. All right. So 2 outs, but it's now 6-4. As a run does come in, but here comes Michael Jack Schmidt. And with one swing of the bat, the Phillies can win this game. So it's up to Orozco to get Michael Schmidt out. And Schmidt in 1986 still had 37 bombs. Schmidt is 1 for 2, a single and 2 walks. So Orozco's got to get Schmidt. Runner on second is a chance to advance to third. I think he would hold because you know you got Mike Schmidt coming up, and I don't think you'd want to run yourself out of the game. I think he would hold. So I think I'll have Rita stay where he is. I don't think he would try to go to third in this case. You got Mike Schmidt coming up to bat, and if you get thrown out of third base, plus that run doesn't mean anything. So I think he would hold. But I think you're right. You're right, Mike. You are right. But I just don't think I would send him to third base. His run doesn't mean anything. The runner on first does, not the runner on second. So 6-4, bottom of the ninth inning. Schmidt is the batter. Orozco trying to get the save here. Nothing on the Havoc. And here comes the pitch. 4-9. And against the righty, he walked him. Dang. 4-9, he walked him. And again, the bases are loaded. And now the batter is Wilson. And Wilson is 0 for 4. They go talk to Orozco on the mound. And Orozco says, I can get this done. I said, well, you better do it here. Now, his closing rating is a 5. So is he fatigued already? Because he's already allowed, what here? 1, 2, 3 base runners and a hit. Because I know that's a closing rating, the 5. In a save situation, I thought. So does that take effect? Is that taking effect on him? Closer rule. Let's see. Closer ratings, with 6 being the big league's most frequent successful closers. Closer endurance and duration, measure number of outs. A pitcher can maintain his effectiveness in close situations. Rating a number of outs the pitcher can record before becoming fatigued. Oh, it's a number of outs. Okay. All right, so it's a number of outs. All right, so it doesn't matter here. It's not hits or anything like that. All right, so Orozco trying to get this game over. I really hope so, because I got to get ready for bed. I didn't really want to play this game this late, but another 2-hour stream. So bases loaded. Orozco trying to get this game over with. Wilson 0 for 4. Nothing on Havoc. They're going to go with Orozco, try to get this out. And here it comes. 5-6. And against the righty. And he is not fatigued. And that is going to be a swing and a miss. And a struck him out. And he will get out of the inning. And that is the game. Wow. That is the game. So Jesse Orozco strikes out Glenn Wilson. So 1 run on 1 hit and 3 walks. It was ugly. But Jesse Orozco get the win. The Mets win the game 6-4. And they will go to 2-0 on the season on this replay. Huh. Dang. Final line score coming up. Yes, Scooney 007. Inside Pitch 1993 is available, as well as 1996. So 1993 and 1996 are available for Inside Pitch. So if those are 2 seasons you were waiting for, get them now. Get them now. And, get them now. And they are available for Inside Pitch. So now Chris Davis, Inside Pitch now has a complete chronology from 1956 all the way to 2000. He will do 2001 to 2006 next year, along with 2023. And then then he will be done with his holes in his inventory. And then I told him he can do whatever he wants. For the Mets, 6 runs on 14 hits and 1 error. For the Phillies, 4 runs on 9 hits and 2 errors. Ron Darling will get the win. He'll go to 1-0. McDowell will get a hold. I believe that's his second. And Orozco will get the save his second. And Kevin Gross will get the loss. And Kevin Gross does get the loss. So that's it for some Stratomatic baseball. The next game for the Mets played in 1986 was against the Phillies, I believe, as well. That would be, that would be Saturday, April 12th. The Mets would take on the Philadelphia Phillies in the second game of the set. And it will be Sid Fernandez versus lefty Steve Carlton. And, of course, Steve Carlton he would bounce around in 1986. He would start on the Phillies, and then he would go to the Giants, and then he would end up on the White Sox. So it'll be Sid Fernandez versus Steve Carlton on April 12th, as the Mets will take on the Philadelphia Phillies. And for that next matchup here for Super Advanced Strat. So, Scooney 007, Mike Terranova, Brandon Baker. Let's see here. Joel Anderson, David Vega, Clee Baseball Fan, Sports Time Machine, Utah Mike, Chuck Rawlings, Mungo Jerry, John Wise, Larry Harris. And let's see here. Dan Douglas, Philip Reynolds, Jeremy Brooks. And I think I got everyone. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Please leave a like on your way out through the turnstiles. Subscribe if you're not done so. Make sure you hit the bell. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong. We'll see you next time. Mets go ahead and beat the Phillies tonight, 6-4. And the Mets now go to 2-0 on the replay. See you next time, guys.